Hey guys, it's Jeff in the middle of some of the Christmas chaos. I've been wrapping presents for my family. Actually, what I've been doing is I've got a lot of reusable boxes and ribbons and fabric paper, so I don't have to always get wrapping paper. And it looks like Ian's got this big present from Mom. It's kind of a mess here. I hope Adrian won't see this, but I've got to clean it before she gets back in home. But I've gone full National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on outside the house. But I want to share some Christmas memories about my dad. And I'm going to just get a couple out here. This is going to be kind of a haphazard, but I just want to do this. So some of my earliest memories are my dad and Mom piling me into a green car to go downtown and look at Christmas lights. And this was before there was really any Nationwide Plaza wasn't there. All the giant buildings, except for the Lincoln Levesque Tower, weren't there. And there were older school buildings like the Neal House Hotel and stuff. And they were decorated with these big bulb lights, good old incandescent electricity wasting Christmas lights everywhere. And it was glowing, and it wasn't really generic holiday stuff. It was really Christmassy around downtown, and I just have almost mystical memories of it. But I just kind of thought sometimes I was just on for the ride, and Dad just does all these fun things all the time. And as a kid, you just don't realize how much your parents are just focused on you. I mean, I was 3 years old. Elizabeth wasn't born yet or something, but I remember being a father to the joy a dad has in taking their kids to do cool things, get pictures with Santa, go Christmas shopping, see the lights. But I just remember one thing, when my dad would do stuff like this, he would explain all the minutia details about the lights, and he would always verify, are you liking this? Do you enjoy it? Like whenever my dad would do something kind, he'd keep almost meekly asking, is this cool? Do you like it? Because nothing gave him more joy than just blessing people and gifting people. And I just think one of my favorite gifts was Dad doing stuff like taking me down to see the Christmas lights with Mom and making it all about giving me good memories, which I don't remember everything, but at 50 years old, I remember that. So I think that was memory 13 or 14 of Dad. I'll title that. Another Christmas memory of Dad is that for so much of Christmas, we had video cameras. And Dad had a little ridge on his shoulder. Like every time me or Elizabeth would do anything of note, he would document it, and we would never watch it again. Now, right now, I have all those videos getting digitized at Familyography, so I can watch all the videos of my dad filming us. So recently, I came upon a trove of pictures of my dad holding video cameras, filming other people. I'm thinking of putting those into a montage. So I remember Dad's desire to document the lives of his family because they were so significant. I mean, sometimes it was pulling teeth to get him to share about himself, yet he would put all his effort into documenting his kids. So, and especially Elizabeth, because that's when he really went all out into filming. So unfortunately, that means most of the video footage I have, my dad's not in it because he's filming it, but you hear his voice behind it. So that's Dad. That's another memory. So that would be maybe memory 14 or something. I don't know. So I've done 2 memories. The third Christmas memory is kind of a hard memory for me, but I didn't realize I was a little bit on the spectrum, and if I had to transition too much or too many things got launched at me, I would view everyone as being hostile towards me because I was overloaded. And sometimes that meant I would abstain from receiving something really kind because I thought the world was crashing in because I was overwhelmed. And I remember one such time, there's all this chaos kind of around the house, at least seemed to me, all on Saturdays. That was house chore day, cleaning day. There was a loud vacuum cleaner going all the time and everything. And at one point, I was crying or upset about something, and Dad was trying to get me to go. He goes, I got to run some errands. And I'm like, no, I'm not going on errands with you, Dad. He's like, you please just come with me, come and run these errands. I really could use your help. And I'm like, no, Dad, I can't. Well, and I just was I forgot about. But then Christmas Day, one of my presents I opened up, and it's full of a treasure chest of game tokens from Showbiz Pizza. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen this many game tokens. When can we go? And he goes, well, that day I wanted to take you on errands. I was wanting to surprise you and take you to Showbiz Pizza and play games all day. But I could tell that that crowd wouldn't have worked for you. So I went alone, played a couple video games, and bought a treasures chest of tokens so we can do it later. So even though I wasn't able to go and do that fun thing with Dad, he still went and got something so we could have that rain check. So that's the third Christmas memory. Fourth Christmas memory is I remember giving my dad, I may have even said this before, it's like every Christmas I would give him the same gift. I would give him Old Spice gift set of, I think I shared this already, but, and he would graciously accept it. And it wasn't until the time I had to go on, I think one of my first dates, I'm like, this is when guys wore more perfume. I was looking for some cologne to wear, and he goes, hey, I've got something for you, Jeff. He takes me, and there's a cupboard in his closet, and it's filled with every single Old Spice gift set I ever gave him, because no one would ever be able to use that much Old Spice in a lifetime, let it on his whole life, and he wouldn't wear it anyway. And he goes, take your pick, buddy. But every house, every place he ever lived, he always had this little soldier decanter of Old Spice that he always put everywhere. My dad wasn't a big decorating type guy, but I think that always meant something to him. So another Christmas memory of Dad is I remember the blizzard of 77, and it was 76. So it was 70. It would have been 77 or 78. But my dad, I got a Schwinn Stingray for Christmas, and I was one of those guys that was inordinately on training wheels all the time for a very long time. But it was so snowy, and I was riding around our little Norwell Drive house in a loop on this bike, probably messing up the tile and stuff, but I was dying to use my bike, and he went outside and shoveled these giant giraffes just so I could ride my bike in the driveway, and that was pretty awesome. So speaking of biking, I remember my dad was like, Jeff, we're going to teach you how to ride without training wheels, because everyone I knew didn't have training wheels, but I had balance issues, and I was really scared. And he goes, I got an idea. So he said, get in the car, or actually, no, we walked. He goes, you can ride your bike. I want to walk with you. Let's walk to the softball fields or baseball fields right by Greensview Elementary, which was by our house. We got there. He goes, if you fall down on this dirt, you're not going to get cut up and scratched up, and it won't hurt as bad, and I'm here to help you up. So let's practice. And he would go and push. We'd be running, he'd be running together, and then he would lift his hands off, and I would go and then wipe out. And he goes, you did it for a while, you did it. And he spent the whole Saturday, and my memory was just him smiling, running behind me as fast as he could, pushing it, and then letting go, and then him cheering me on. And that day I learned how to ride the bike. But it was such a good memory to me that I viewed that as a different way, so I could ride my bike anywhere. But upon occasion, I said, Dad, can we just go back to the baseball field and have you push it? Because that was a lot of fun. He'd be like, what? Well, why do you want to do that? I think he indulged me once where it's like, I just wanted him to be running alongside of me, cheering me on. And in a way, that's what my dad did my entire life. So those are my two bike memories. So another memory I have about Christmas, because I'm just shooting for Christmas memories, is I remember opening epic Star Wars toys, and specifically I remember getting the Death Star, the X-Wing fighter. The very first Star Wars toy I got was actually an Imperial TIE fighter, and I remember my dad saying, Jeff, I know you want to play with this right now, but trust me, I am the best person to put stickers on toys, and I know you're not very coordinated. Can I help you put all the stickers on your Star Wars toys? I'm like, okay. So he brings out this little architectural ruler and a magnifying glass and a little etcher, and he marks the exact corner where every tip of the sticker should be. And then he applies it and slowly does it so there's no bubbles. And he goes, and then he goes, see, those are as good as the ones in the picture, maybe even better. Yeah. So whenever I'd be playing games, he goes, whenever I'd be playing Star Wars toys, which is all the time, he'd look at me and goes, do you know anyone else that has their stickers applied with that much skill? So I remember Dad assembling all my toys like that. And I got to do that with my son as well. And another thing that I want to share that is a memory, but it's a memory of, my dad, when he would get overwhelmed and kind of autistic, he'd really get terse or angry. But a lot of things that would anger other people didn't anger my dad. One example is I woke up early on Saturday. Normally I would just go in and cuddle with Mom and Dad for a couple hours till they would make me eggs. But I went downstairs and I had this idea that we had really boring walls and I wanted to do a surprise. I think it was actually looking forward to Christmas. I wanted to surprise them. So I got all my crayons and pencils and I quietly tried to decorate every wall in the house on Norwell. And at one point, it just got really tedious for me. So I grabbed fistfuls of crayons and would start like jumping around doing loops. And at that point, I was making some noise. So I crayoned it, penciled it, did the whole thing up. The first house my parents had together. And they'd done their best to make it look really nice in a 70s kind of kitsch way. And I remember them coming down. And my mom like, what? And my dad just looking at it kind of quietly and then kind of laughing, seeing that I had basically defaced the entire house while they slept. Now, there are several other stories, but what I remember is it wasn't even a thing till years. I remember it was like a year and a half or 2 years before they got it fixed. My dad had his buddy Tim repaint the whole house, but for a year or two, or who knows, the kids' memories really elongate things. They just had my stuff around the house and didn't bother restoring it. It kind of reminds me of the many times my sister Elizabeth, I guess this would be another memory, would flood. She would like go into a trance, like singing to her music and running around and forget she had the tub running. And we basically had the living room ceiling on verge of collapse. My dad had to poke all these holes to let the water out. And this is around shortly after my mom got sick. And we basically left the ceiling like that in this ritzy Worthington suburb. We had this destroyed ceiling. And this is when it's kind of just me and my dad living together. And he definitely got good guitars, good amps, and really learned to rock out. But it wasn't until I think he went to sell the house that they actually bothered fixing the ceiling. So my dad has priorities straight there. Another memory of my dad, oh my gosh, I'm going way too long. But, oh my gosh, he was just, I don't know, I'll save those ones for next time, but here's a couple more. That was a couple more Christmas memories for my dad honoring his 75 years since his birth. And hopefully before his next birthday, I'll have 75 memories captured. So there's some more of my dad. And the Lord's good, and he gave me a good dad. Talk to you.